just before this round started, round number 9, the second hospitality round, we were a little bit behind on time because we had a director call from the previous round. And so Joel's a pretty slow player, and I wanted the directors to know that we were late, not because we were slow, but because we had an abnormality the last round. So I called the director and said, we're starting a few minutes late, and I just want you to know why. Just to protect against an unnecessary penalty. So the director said to me at the time, okay, no problem, it's the break round, just make sure you're done before the end of the break. So the board started with Joel opening a spade and me responding a normal semi-forcing no trump. And Barry Regal entered with a two-diamond overcall, vulnerable, and Joel bid 3 clubs. Now, an unexpected turn of events was my right-hand opponent bid 4 diamonds, preemptive. So I know an enormous amount about this hand. I assume Joel was at least 5-5 in the black suits for his 3-club bid. He wouldn't really be bidding a 4-card suit at the 3 level. So, and it looks like he has no diamonds. So he probably has 5 spades, 5 clubs, and 3 hearts. But with that hand, he may have chosen to make a takeout double of 2 diamonds. So looks like he's even more likely to be 6 spades, 5 clubs, and 2 hearts. I have a pretty strong hand, and looking back on this after the fact, I feel like I probably was supposed to act in this seat. At the time, I didn't really see how potentially strong my hand was, so I just passed it around to Joel. Now, when it came back to Joel thought for a ridiculously long time. He used up, it felt like 7 minutes from the clock to make this bid. And while he was thinking, the only thing, especially when you're playing with somebody slow, and especially when you're under time pressure, it's imperative. This is something that everybody should do all the time, but in this particular spot, it was imperative that I'm using the time while Joel's thinking to think about what I'm going to do no matter what he bids. No matter how unusual his bid is, I have to know what I'm going to be bidding over it. So I felt like Joel was going to act. He took so long that it would just seem so strange for him to pass, though it was possible. And Joel came out with a magical bid for me of 4 hearts. I was very happy, and because I'd thought about my action, I passed 4 hearts so quickly. I didn't seem surprised by his bid. I was certainly willing a 4-heart bid on from him, and I was very happy about it. So so we played it there. They led the 2 of diamonds, and as you can see, Joel made an aggressive bid of bidding 4 hearts. He might have chosen to double. He might have chosen to pass, but I think he did a very good job of reopening with 4 hearts. Now, unfortunately, what the opponents are doing right away, they're tapping his hand. They're shortening his trumps, making it very difficult for him to pull the opponent's trumps. He can't rough it and just play trumps because then the opponents are going to be able to take their winning diamonds. So it's really important Joel sets up his tricks. He might use his spades to discard the diamond, but the first thing he wanted to do was get his club trick in. So he roughed the opening lead of a diamond, and he played a club to the king. And that won the trick. Now the opponents were playing upside down count and attitude, so the deuce or the 7, whomever did not have the ace, probably has a doubleton. The person with the ace isn't going to really feel like they need to give count as much as the person without the ace. So it's more trustworthy that the person, if they both played high cards, it would seem like it was ace doubleton. But here it looks like it's ace third and too little. So now Joel knew that he could, if he played clubs, they were just going to take a rough. So now he felt like it was time to start seeing what's going on in spades. So he played a spade to the ace, and played the king of spades, and planning on playing the queen of spades. But now the queen of spades got roughed, which really says a lot about the hand. It looks to me, because of the preemptive 4-diamond bid, that the ace of clubs was with Barry Regal. And so if that's true, and we believe that West had a doubleton club from his count, it looks like he's exactly 2-4-5-2. At this point in the hand, it seems like West's shape is known, and it's not good news that he has 4 hearts, but at least we know a lot about the hand. So now, what Joel did was he just knocked out the club. He was willing to concede a rough at this stage in the hand, so he played a club and it went ace. But rather than giving his partner a rough, Barry played back a heart, and Joel again used a lot of time. We're talking about we've already finished round time, and we've only got about 4 minutes left in the round, and there's still all this and another board to play for us to avoid our slow play penalty. So it was looking pretty grim on us staying away from that penalty. But Joel, since he after thinking about it, I think he reasoned exactly as I described, that West probably was 2-4-5-2. So Joel played the hand by flying up with the ace of hearts, and he trumped a spade and dummy. And now that his ten of spades was good, he was able to trump a diamond back to his hand and lead his good ten of spades. Now, when the opponent had to ruff the ten of spades with the ten of hearts, now the only heart that was outstanding was the king, so he could lead a good club, and now they roughed it, but he got his queen of hearts for the 10th trick for an extremely well played hand and well bid. Joel earned us an awesome board all around. It's nice to sit there as dummy, never bid, and watch your partner make a hand like that. So now the second board, we have almost no time left. And before we started this board, Barry Regal said something very important to his partner that I think is really something that people should know, is because we had been so slow on this board. Barry said to his partner, I know we have only 3 minutes left, but you have no need to rush before you play this board, because if we don't finish in time, it's their fault anyway. We should just take our time and not make any mistakes. And that's a really, really important point, that you should never feel rushed when your opponents are slow. But I would make a point of knowing that your opponents will actually admit to being slow. Joel and I they can trust that we would never lie to the director and tell them, but some opponents, they aren't even be aware of how slow they've been. But actually, Joel was so slow on the last hand that I don't think there was a person in the room who didn't know that he was at fault for the hesitation. So here we are on the second board. Huge time pressure. I'd really like to get this board done in 2 minutes flat. There was actually literally 2 minutes left on the clock when we got to this point. And so it went a spade by me in second seat, and 2 diamond overcall, 4 spades from Joel, weak bid, and it went 5 diamonds. It looked to me like this hand, it was just going to be too hard to defend 5 diamonds, and I didn't even know whether we could beat it. And 5 spades looked like it had a reasonable shot if Joel had a singleton heart, which he's going to have some shortness. It seems like hearts is the most likely spot. So I bid 5 spades, and the opponents doubled, and at least I knew that this was likely to be a very quick hand in the play. Barry led the ace of hearts, and looking at dummy, I'm in pretty good shape. It actually looks like I might have to take a little bit more time than I expected, because Joel only had 4 spades. But what turned out to happen was things worked out very, very quickly. It went ace of hearts, and my opponent played the deuce of hearts, and we've had this situation come up a lot so far in these videos, suit preference. He was telling his partner he wants a club played. So now Barry played the ace of clubs and a club, and he roughed it, and so now I was down 1. It looked like I was going to have a tough time making it, even if clubs were breaking. There was still a lot to do on the hand. But now that they returned a diamond, and since there were only 3 trumps remaining out, I could cash a trump, and if they broke, I could see that I could just pull another trump, and I could use rough 2 hearts and dummy and throw 2 of them away on clubs. So that's what I did. And I did this all happened in a matter of 5 seconds. It felt like. The play of 5 spades was immediate, and we got done with no penalty, which was mind-boggling. We were really, really lucky to have a board this quick come up on the second round, and we did pretty well because Barry had a tough lead. He led the ace of hearts, thinking he might get a heart ruff, but actually, if he had led the ace of clubs, he was going to go ace of clubs, club ruff, heart over, club ruff, and that would have beaten us another trick. So we had a pretty good round overall, and we avoided the slow play penalty. See you next time.